Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and this is astounding, but welcome to the 151st episode of the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. I was recently questioned on why I've been phoning in my intros. I said there hasn't been a great deal of compelling info. Tom McDonald isn't dropping any good new music. Amber Heard's light years old with the whole Me Poo movement. Ukraine is under attack from Russian soldiers. Elon Musk's Twitter purchase is over. Newspaper headlines mislead us and get it twisted a lot, and politicians are trying to figure out which is the kettle and which is the pot. If my goddamn computer, though, asks me one more time to update my password, it'll probably be its last words. Every time I try to print, I gotta check for jams, blow for dust, and scratch my fat chin, or I can reach out to the IT department so they can tell me to pull out the cord and plug it back in. Even though her baby boy is borderline sadistic and hellish, a big Mother's Day shout out to Mamita, the sweet and angelic. The woman who did the job of both mom and dad, and if I say so myself, she didn't do either half bad. I don't know where she found the time to raise all those damn kids, but she's the best in the world at her job, and his. She has an amazing gift and curse to care for people, and she sent us a little piece of that special talent my way. I'd say something about Tommy's mommy too, but I'll wait till Valentine's Day. Tommy fucking Washington, what's been up, man? How are you?
That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. I'm good, man. Happy Mother's Day to Erica. My son actually fucking shocked me last night when he texted me. He was out with a couple of his friends. They went down to the football field yesterday. He texted me. He's like, "Is there anywhere around here I could walk to get Erica a Mother's Day card?"
Shit.
That wasn't prompted by me or anything. So pretty proud of him for doing it. He got Erica a Mother's Day card. I did not because I don't do stuff like that. But you know, she's amazing as a mother. So happy Mother's Day to her. Happy Mother's Day to my mother, my sister. But well, that did not come out right. Happy Mother's Day to my actual mother. And then also happy Mother's Day to my sister. They are not two in the same. They're not two in the same. I'm not from where Pat's from. But yeah, all is good. We went to Colin's flag football game. They won. Didn't really pay a lot of attention to it because let's face it, it's flag football. It's not real.
Why did Colin have a flag football game?
He's doing flag football. That's what they do in the spring up here.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's just something to keep him active. You know what I mean? He enjoys football, so.
That makes a lot more sense. When I went to pick him up, when I was watching him, he was on a different field than he's normally on, and they were definitely getting down with the fuckery. When we've been to his real football practices, they're pretty regimented.
Yeah, like this is more like a fuck it, let's have a good time league.
Yeah, they were basically like they were tossing up the ball and running after it. They were just fucking around.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's good for him though. Gets him out of the house, gets him more active. So we'll take it more seriously in the fall when real football starts.
That kid just keeps losing weight. He just looks better and better by the day.
Yeah, kind of. He won't leave me alone he wants to start going to the gym, and I'm not big on him going to the gym. One, he's a little young. But two, he has an immense amount of body weight that he could use to train himself just doing regular things. Now, mind you, I have pushed him when he came to live here 2 years ago. Actually, the 6th was 2 years ago to the date that I actually got temporary custody of him. But nice. when he came to live here, he could not do a push-up. And now he can actually do a real guy push-up. So him and I have a deal.
One?
No, he could do, I think he did 4 or 5 the other day in front of me. Him and I have a deal that we will talk about him maybe going to the gym when he could do 25 straight.
Okay.
I think 25 is realistic. When I was his age, I could easily do 25 push-ups. And I was the same size kid. Maybe not, probably didn't weigh as much as he did at his age, but I mean, I was a bigger kid, but I've always had upper body strength. He has none. So he needs to use his body weight to his advantage and train his body to build muscle with his own body weight. You know what I mean? Why use weights?
I do. I am what I would call country strong. I am a fat, strong body.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same thing. I mean, since I've stopped doing a lot of manual labor, I not as strong as I used to be, obviously, but I can still do a push up, and I'm fat
I'll
as
tell you
fuck.
what you lose, and I don't know if you've lost it yet or if you've lost it and not noticed it yet, but your grip strength, because you turned wrenches for so long. One day you're just going to try to do something solely with your hands and not be able to do it and be like, what the fuck? Like, this is not as challenging as it seems to be right now.
Nah, my hands are fucked, dude. My hands have been fucked for years because of the
Yep.
wrenching.
No, I'm with you.
Like this hand here, my left hand. I don't know if you can hear that in the mic, but if I squeeze it a certain way, it just every single joint in my hand pops. Every single time, it never stops. I could just sit there and do it all day long. Yeah, it's super gross. But I'm falling apart, man. I'm 32 years old, dude. I feel like I'm 100. I can't fucking walk. My foot's been bothering me since Wednesday or Thursday. Like
And
on
having a bout of the gout.
Yeah, again, man, I don't even know if it's like I thought it was gout at first, right? Because it was really in my big toe, but now it's like in the ball of my foot, and there's not really a joint there; it's more of a bone. And I'm starting to think like maybe I have a bone spur or something. But the ball, like I cannot put any pressure on the ball of my foot. It feels like there's a nail in my foot, and then every time I step on it, it just keeps getting worse and worse. So this weekend I plan on doing a lot. Plan on doing a lot in the bathroom to because they finished my heat pump this week, so I was gonna insulate. What the fuck are you laughing about?
Because you're like, this weekend I planned on doing a lot in the bathroom.
Well, because I'm redoing my bathroom, you asshole. I plan on doing a lot up there. At least finishing the insulation, running some new wires for the lights and the outlets, and hanging sheetrock. And I've done nothing. And like I said to Erica, maybe we could do something later, but I'm really hesitant because I don't want to be in pain for the rest of the week. So I don't know if it's going to be another day where I just rest my foot. Hey, have you ever watched Ozark?
It is on my list. It's actually at the top of my list. Everybody talks about it. I've never seen a single episode.
So neither had I. And yesterday I watched the whole first season, which is rough. It was straight 10 hours of 11 hours watching TV because every episode is a minimum of an hour, some are longer. It's not bad. It's like the way everybody describes it, that it's this amazing show. I don't think it's amazing. It's a good show. So I'm hoping that really turns the corner in the second season and it becomes a great show, but it's a good show, I guess. I would watch it.
Yesterday we went axe throwing for Miss Elizabeth's brother's birthday.
How was that?
Tommy, I performed Chicken McNasty with this axe throwing. I was shocked by how good I did.
Where did you go?
And there's a place in Southington, which if you asked me where it was yesterday before we went, I thought it was in Bristol. But I've told you about the coffee shop right there. It's called Purgatory, and they have amazing coffee. The whole theme of the place is kind of like a emo, I don't know, punk rock. I love the fucking place. I love the fucking building. It used to obviously be some type of factory, but now it's got like a huge arcade. It's got a huge axe throwing place. It's got a huge homemade chocolate bakery. It's got the Purgatory.
Is that where the old school arcade is? The same building as that on the corner?
Right by Smoking with Chris.
Yeah. I've been to that arcade place before.
I went there for trivia once, wrestling trivia night.
Oh, we went there.
We talked about it on the show.
We went there with Griff and his wife because it's all like old school fucking arcade games. Yeah. The building is amazing. That's actually, I've talked to you about, I want to make like a huge complex where you basically would have field day, like 3-legged races and fucking volleyball and tug of war and shit, but for adults. And you would also host like an adult softball league, an adult soccer league. The place would be a fucking cash cow. But then after yesterday, I went, wow, you could easily throw axe throwing into this mix and it would be another moneymaker. Fucking $32 an hour per person to axe throw. We went fucking 8 deep. They had one person in there with us, one person. And we had 8 people pay $32 an hour, and the thing's on an overhead projector. What's one of those? Fucking $1,000 if you buy the nicest one you've ever seen. Yeah, I'm out, bro. I would not pay.
Well worth it, dude. It was so much fun. just
There's
watching,
zero
we
chance.
made Liz's mom go at the same time as Liz's dad, and I was waiting the entire time for Liz's dad to catch an X in the back.
There's zero chance that I'm paying $32 to throw an axe. I'll just go to my backyard and throw it.
It was a little bit disconcerting, only because my father actually has a huge axe throwing setup in his backyard. So Liz and I, like, we would casually go out there on vacation and just throw as much as we wanted. So I was like, fuck, man, $32 an hour. That seems steep. But it was so much fun. It was the girl gave you instructions. So even like there were a couple of us who had no clue how to throw an axe to get it to stick into the wood. She was an unbelievable teacher. And she was like, I don't know, maybe 20, 21 years old. I mean, she was better than you would expect out of a teacher of axe throwing, and she did a good job making sure that everybody had fun, because you don't want, if you score 0 points the entire fucking night, that's a boring night.
Yeah, I mean, $32 an hour, bro. We should just buy a little piece of land and do that outside.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This sports complex is a fucking moneymaker, I'm telling you.
What we should do is buy a big field, right? And have like an outdoor shooting range on one side and then axe throwing on the other or something like that. Like that place in Wallingford
is set up the shooting range on one end and the targets for it on the other end, and then have relay races on the target end, but have the target practice at the same time.
Yeah, it sounds
a real thrill.
That sounds like a lawsuit. That's what that sounds like.
No, you got to race with bulletproof gear on.
Yeah, it sounds like a lawsuit.
Plan is flawed, Tom. The plan is flawed.
Yeah, most of your plans are.
That's fair.
So that's what's going on. You're going out later for Liz's mom's Mother's Day. Are you doing anything for your mom for Mother's Day?
We are next Sunday. We're going out for breakfast. This Sunday, I ran over there first thing in the morning, brought her a card. And at the bottom of the card, I wrote a very personal message, of course, but it ended with, please never, ever, 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 ever die. That was my message to my mom this Mother's Day.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You know that's going to happen, right?
It's probably not. Probably not. Tommy, I say this wholeheartedly. The day my mother dies, maybe the last day for me on this earth. I may kill myself.
That's not a good idea. Everybody dies, Pat.
I know. And she strengthened us all. We're so tough because of her. I still might just end it.
All right, this got dark quick.
Yep.
So that's cool. So next week's episode, we might have to do either Saturday night or later in the day, because Colin has his football game at 11. So we either got to do it super early in the morning, late in the day on Sunday, or late in the day on Saturday.
Okay.
Cool. I'm glad we got that out of the way for our listeners. Pat, you want to do some memes?
Let's do it.
I haven't seen or read it. I've seen them. I haven't read any of them. Holy shit, this thing's huge. That's what she said. All right, Pat, what's this first one here?
All right, so the title of this meme, it says, did this guy really just shoot his shot on my anniversary post? And what happens is the girl writes, I guess you could say we've been dating forever, #happy anniversary, because it's their 4th anniversary. And then some dude who just happens to be friends with the girl on what looks like Facebook says, it seems like it's time for a change.
Good for him. Good for him.
Fucking awful.
I think that's awesome. Good for him. You gotta shoot your shot, man. That's the worst that happens. They say no. That's what I tell Colin all the time.
This one comes from @Celia Denny. She said, when I woke up today, I thought I saw a mouse on my floor. In parentheses, she writes, without my contacts, I have -9 vision, so I can't see. So, the parentheses are over now. She says, so I trapped the mouse with a box. I put my contacts in so I can see, only to find out that I did not trap a mouse. I trapped my hairbrush. Have a great day.
Classic.
That is classic. This one, so this is why this is funny, Tommy. This post is on Instagram, okay? It's a Facebook post, but I find it on Instagram, and it's posted by a kid who posts 1,000 things on Instagram a day, and they're hilarious, all of them. But he's single, and a lot of them are about being single. So this one says, how do I get a girlfriend? And a girl replies, post memes until one keeps heart reacting to them. Then send her your peen in her inbox. And I thought, this kid's going to take that shit seriously.
No, he can't be that stupid. Hopefully not.
Tom, we're going to talk about this much more in just a minute, but Ben Shapiro, in a fucking brilliant move, says blatant transphobia in reaction to Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom at, this whole Roe v. Wade thing that we're going to talk about today. Gavin Newsom, obviously wholeheartedly against overturning Roe v. Wade, says if men could get pregnant, this wouldn't even be a conversation. This decision about strengthening families, it's about extremism, it's about control. We will fight for the right to choose. To which Ben Shapiro wrote blatant transphobia because Ben Shapiro is saying, how dare you say that men can't get pregnant? To Gavin Newsom, who will look you dead in the face and tell you that men can in fact get pregnant. This is fucking brilliant from Ben Shapiro.
I like it. It's a good move. It's a good move.
Oh my God.
Oh man. All right. So we're gonna jump right into Three Finger News with our new sound bit.
Time do we get started?
I don't know, like 10:40. Wasn't late. Probably like 10:50. What do you ask?
I was curious what our goal for time here was, so I was just looking at the clock. Two things. I have to obviously get to the other thing, but I think we got plenty of time. I just have to shower. And the second thing is that now I also have to shit pretty badly, so that snuck up on me.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 16 minutes of the show, but we'll power through it. Just sit tight, bud.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Pucker that asshole tight, you know what I mean?
Both cheeks clenched.
Pat, before we start Three Finger News, I want to say we got a lot of good feedback. I did personally about the shocker thing that we did last week. That fucking
excellent.
So we took a little clip of that. We made it the intro. We didn't do the whole thing because, again, it got a little annoying at the end. But I think the beginning is pretty funny. So, anyway, Pat, you want to do Three Finger News?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Tom, our first story. Dog attack victim was being eaten alive, sister says. This is one of the craziest fucking stories imaginable. The sister of 38-year-old... I'm going to read the whole story. It's only one paragraph, but it's fucking incredible. The sister of 38-year-old Kylene Waltman says her sibling is stronger than I ever thought as she detailed the horrific injuries the mom of three endured when attacked by three dogs in South Carolina. Amy Wynn, 41, told the Mall online that Waltman still needed at least 13 surgeries after losing both arms and her colon in the attack. Having raised more than $240,000 on GoFundMe. The dog's owner, Justin Miner, 36, faces charges and said his pet got a taste for blood after they slaughtered his chickens. When she passed out, they were eating her alive. The dogs dragged her. They scalped her. Her skull was showing. They tore her left eyelid off. They tore her right cheek off, and they left a hole. They ate the skin off her inner thigh and ate the flesh off her arms and then ripped them off. She's a strong woman, stronger than I ever thought. She's a fighter. Waltman was saved when local farmer Avery Presley blasted a gun into the air and kicked one of the dogs to get them to flee. First off, if I see three dogs eating a human being, I will not be kicking one of those dogs. I may shoot the gun in the air. I'm not going near those fucking dogs. Clearly, this is a fight they've won before. What if the last person kicked one of those dogs? I don't know how the fight started. They ripped her arms off, Tom.
So this is where I'm at, bro. And again, there's a lot of things in life that you have an opinion on, and then that could change easily once you're in that situation. Like you hear stories like this, or there's plenty of things in life that you think one way, but then when it happens to you, you could easily turn the other way. In this situation, fucking kill me. Just let me die. Why the fuck would I want to go through life with no arms? All those surgeries for what? For what? What kind of quality?
Off, your name fits perfectly. We could call you Tommy Torso.
Yeah. See, I'm not gonna roll like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going through life. I would have a hard time going through life with one arm. Never mind, no arms. So I'm out. You know what I mean? Fucking kill me, let me die. That's a horrible way to go out. You know what I mean? And she is strong. I mean, I don't think I would survive that. I don't think many people would survive that. So she is a strong woman. Good for her. I mean, $240,000 isn't a dent in what's going to be her medical bills. And
sometimes you see on GoFundMe, you're like, wow, they made way more than that was worth. Like, good for them. On this one, I'm like, $240,000. I would pay $240,000 to not have this happen to me.
Yeah. And that, like, yeah, the dog's owner is, I guess, somewhat responsible for it, but that motherfucker ain't got no money to cover her. You know what I mean? Even if it was just like, if you went after his homeowner's insurance, what's he gonna have? $100,000 for an incident? Like, it's not gonna be shit compared to what this lady's gonna. And if she sues him, okay, you'll win millions of dollars. He's not gonna have any money to fucking pay you, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only hope you have is that you win a multi-million-dollar lawsuit and then this guy wins the lottery. That's it. That's the only hope you got.
Yeah, I mean, you're fucked. So
now with prosthetics, I think they could give her. I'm good. Sorry for the crass terminology because I don't know what it'd really be called, but robot arms.
Prosthetic arms.
And yeah, I guess prosthetic was accurate enough. But with her robot arms, she could probably add different attachments, like Edward Scissorhands, for example. That would be really fun. I don't know. Maybe she could trim some hedges around the neighborhood and make it a really cool place to live.
Put a dildo on the end of it, fucking blast herself with it.
You know what? With plenty of spare time on her hands. Nope. She has no time on her hands. All right, next story. Tom, this will actually.
I need a pen.
You're gonna write "time on her hands" as the episode, the podcast title.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck my pen is. Fuck. All right, go ahead. Next story.
The pendulum's about to swing in the other direction as far as how much money something is worth. Tom, family says Connecticut boy 6 severely burned by bully and is in very good spirits as he's released from the hospital.
Is this the first time you've seen this story?
Well, I have the story
because I saw this when it happened.
First time when what?
I saw this when it came up, or when it popped up, or like when it happened. Jesus, it doesn't matter to me. I saw it as soon as it happened. This is a horrible fucking story. This is a horrible fucking story.
I don't see what is who writing on the timeline. I can't see who it is or what they're writing.
Erica said, "Way to bring up Johnny Depp." LOL. Edward Scissorhands.
Classic.
See,
that would have been their ugly heads again.
That would have been a great segue into a Johnny Depp story. You fucking really.
You know what? I hear you.
You missed the thing there. I really want to. Those trials are so like long and drawn out, but I keep seeing these bits and pieces, and I really want to watch like all of Johnny Depp's testimony, and then I want to watch all of Amber Heard's testimony. I don't really care about the other people. I just want to see their stories. Did you see the fucking video of her when they said that she was sniffing coke on the stand?
Yeah, I said this last night because everybody was talking about it. Listen, nobody on this planet hates Amber Heard more than I do, except maybe Johnny Depp. But she wasn't sniffing fucking cocaine out of her tissue. I saw the video. I understand where they're coming from. It is not Amber Heard sniffing cocaine out of her tissue, you fucking maniacs.
What they think it is, though, was something to help her tear up while she was on the stand.
That makes sense. That makes way more sense.
Yeah, than her sniffing coke on the stand? Yeah.
I can't remember what the joke was on Saturday Night Live. I obviously watched the Weekend Update only. But there was something that they said where, like, for example, getting advice from somebody. And it was like, he asked Bill Cosby what he should have to drink. And the guy went, that's kind of like asking for instructions on how to make a bed from Amber Heard. And that's a fucking solid joke. Oh, that was too. Didn't mean to do that. But yeah, quality from Saturday Night Live Weekend Update. Watch that if you want to see your Amber Heard stuff.
I want to watch it all. I want to see the whole fucking thing.
The trial. Yeah, no, I would be very interested in watching the trial. You know what? Here's the thing. Somebody's going to be tasked with casting the movie, and they've both been canceled. So who are they going to get to play themselves? Very interesting stuff.
Yeah, they'll find somebody or like. I think after all this, Johnny Depp's going to get a lot more opportunities. I think Amber Heard is done acting.
Yeah, I hope that is factual on both sides.
Anyway,
her last act as an actor is this trial itself.
Yeah.
You're playing the role for your life, kid.
Anyway, let's get into the story.
Dominic, the kid who got burned by the bully, was released from the hospital Monday, more than a week after suffering third-degree burns when a tennis ball that had been set on fire was allegedly thrown at his face. So this is how it goes down. Last Sunday at about 3:50 p.m., Dominic walked outside to say goodbye to a visitor. Then he went to say hello to some neighborhood children. That's when, his family alleged, a neighborhood boy who they say had previously bullied Dominic covered a tennis ball with gasoline, lit it on fire, and threw it at him. I heard him screaming, "Mommy, help me, they set me on fire." She ran to him, and he ran to her. His leg was still smoking, and his face was bright red. So the kid's going to need more surgery because the face burns were worse than they had originally anticipated, and they're not healing like they're supposed to. She said as he continues to recover, his family is making plans to move to a new home in a new town where Dominic will feel safe. Somewhere he'll never have to worry about walking outside and something terrible like this happening ever again. To help pay for the move, Dominic's older sister, Kayla, started a GoFundMe that has raised more than $500,000. So this is why I say, like, this kid's face has a burn. It's superficial from what I can tell. I have not seen pictures, but they said a couple more surgeries and he's good to go. But the other girl had her fucking arms ripped off and she got half the money. She was scalped. Her fucking cheek was ripped off.
Yeah, I think it's all
because
relative.
He's a kid.
Yeah, that's part of it, I'm sure. There's a whole bunch of different things that I'm sure play into this and the story and what it is. Like, this is bullying, right? One's a dog attack, one's bullying. So people are more generous when it comes to bullying. This is a horrible fucking story. I hope the kids that did this have severe consequences, and if not not only the kids but the parents of these kids should have severe consequences for what happened.
Okay, I have two thoughts before we get into where we should go from here, because that's where you're headed. I want to finish the story because it actually gets worse, in my opinion. The burning, that's physical pain. I can deal with a little bit of physical pain, but this is the tough part.
I thought you were done with the story. My bad.
No, sir. It's not going to be normal ever for Dominic, at least not this summer, his dad says. He can't be out in direct sunlight for over a year. It's going to be hard for him to understand. Now, he's 6, remember. He can't go out and play with his friends or the other kids for a full year. His parents say that this isn't the first time the neighbor hurt Dominic. Months ago, they allege the boy gave him a concussion requiring hospitalization. This child's 8 years old. He's a baby himself, and he needs help. So here's the shitty part, right? This kid is now going to be forced to stay inside for 12 months straight. But on top of that, the other kid's only 8 years old. He's obviously got fucking problems. At 8 years old, I did not douse a fucking tennis ball in gasoline and throw it on a neighborhood kid.
Yeah.
You know, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was one thing to get into a fight with each other, you know, maybe some fists were thrown or something like that. Maybe you hit them with something. But
absolutely douse the tennis ball with gasoline and then hit it with a tennis racket. I mean, no way I'm not doing that. I'll still do that. I'm 37. But to hit a kid in the fucking face is insane. And I'm sure he didn't understand that gasoline obviously is going to stay moist on the tennis ball. You hit a kid, it's the first thing it's going to do is splash, right? The gasoline's going to splash and then it's going to spread. So he didn't understand the consequences of what he was doing, but he also didn't understand the severity of what he was doing. It's not just going to hit him and bounce off. It's going to stick to him. And that's really shitty, man. This kid's parents are fucking douchebags.
Well, and to be honest with you, most of these kids that have issues or act out, I would say 90% of the time, it's a parenting issue. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. There's kids out there that are just fucked up. You know what I mean? And no matter what parents they had, they were going to be fucked up. But because that's just people, right? Some people are just fucked up. But at the end of the day,
you were with the mom last week with the devil baby. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, that kid was fucked. You know what I mean? I don't blame that mom. I'm joking. I'm clearly joking. But yeah, 90% like parents suck, man. Parents really fucking suck. And like I get a lot of because of the PC culture that we live in and shit like that, like I get worried about people judging me about the way I raise my kid. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm raising my child in such a way that he's not going to be a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like that's really what it comes down to for me is I want to make sure that's not my kid. You know what I mean? My kid's not fucking hit. You know, you be nice to other people. You know, just because somebody's different or whatever, you don't make fun of them and pick on them and to fit in with the cool kids. You know what I mean? Because guaranteed, this kid's some fucking nerdy kid down there, or some, you know, he might have some sort of learning disability or something like that, and he's not one of the popular kids. And that kid that hit him with the fucking tennis ball is one of the popular kids, and everybody thought it was funny that he did that to that kid.
See what? I saw pictures of the kid. Again, I did not see pictures of the incident, but I did see pictures of the kid before he had a tennis ball rock him in the face. The kid is fucking adorable.
Yeah. It's really tough. You know what I mean?
Sucks, man.
Pat, before we get into this next story, Erica just sent in a thing from the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and she said it's
TikTok.
hilarious. She said it's hilarious, so I want to pull it up quick and play it because I have no idea what it is. I didn't watch it, but she sent it.
I also have no idea what it is, but I'd like to watch it.
All right, so give me 3 minutes here.
My dog stepped on a bee.
What the fuck?
Yeah, don't worry about that. All right, so we don't know what this is, but here we go.
My dog stepped on a bee.
My dad has to pee.
My mom's stuck in a tree.
My squirrel got bit by a flea.
Without my glasses, I cannot see.
Oh, fuck.
Erica, that was Erica. Erica, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm so fucking disappointed. Don't come on.
I mean, obviously, the fact that Amber Heard mentioned that her dog got bit by a bee or stung by a bee and then broke down in tears is proof of what's really happening on that fucking stand.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Erica, this is a podcast that is meant to either be funny or bring news to people.
Right. Erica, we're highbrow, we're lowbrow, but we are never middlebrow.
Yeah, that sucked. I mean, come on. Come on, Erica, you're better than this.
I actually thought it was pretty funny.
She's supposed to be an actress. We know that she's an actress. That was not good. Facial expressions. Oh, yeah, that was hilarious. Really good content for a podcast. Anyway.
I will say this. I do love a good facial. Anyways. Tom, the last story we're going to talk about, I gave us a little bit of time because, well, I want to see your head pop off. Roe v. Wade. Tom, are you familiar, at least on the surface, of Roe v. Wade?
Yeah, Roe v. Wade is the right to have an abortion, basically. Right?
Okay, so we're gonna first we're gonna overstate. We're gonna read through the original law, which was passed in January 1973. Basically, right from the 14th Amendment here, it protects a pregnant woman's right to choose whether to have an abortion. Now, there is a lot attached to this. I'm going to read through what's attached to it. It also ruled that this right is not absolute and may be balanced against government's interest in protecting women's health and prenatal life. The court resolved that this balancing test by tying state regulation of abortion to 3 trimesters of pregnancy. During the first trimester, governments could not prohibit abortions at all. During the second trimester, governments could require reasonable health regulations. During the third trimester, abortions could be prohibited entirely so long as the laws contained exceptions for cases when they were not necessary to save the life or health of the mother. Okay, so are you with me? Basically, it says you can have an abortion during the first trimester, period, end sentence. For the most part, you can have an abortion during the second trimester, but not if it's going to cause damage to the mother. And in the third trimester, unless it's going to kill mom, you're not having an abortion. That's the way we understand it today.
Yeah, so every state, the first trimester, you can have an abortion. Doesn't matter. And then pretty much
Correct.
the second and third trimesters are up to the state with those exceptions.
Correct, but kind of unanimously across the board, we follow the federal way of doing it. It's first trimester, fire at will. Second trimester, aim small, miss small. Third trimester, bring the baby to fruition.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Phobic Squirrel's in the chat and says, these motherfuckers.
What up, Phobic Squirrel?
Good to have you back, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to hear that you're alive. I haven't heard from you in probably 2-3 weeks.
Tom, there is a leak, from SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States. The leak basically says, we're moving forward with our plan to overturn Roe v Wade. Okay, so we're going to completely outlaw abortions, period, end sentence. That comes with the caveat that it will still have kind of time-related things linked to it. So you would still have health linked to it. If a mother's life is in jeopardy or if a mother's health or safety are in jeopardy, you're still able to have an abortion. Everybody's favorite thing is to say, what about rape babies? Rape babies, we did the math on the show. We looked up the percentage. I believe it was less than 1% of all babies born in America are from rape, counting aborted fetuses. And the other one that everybody's concerned with is incest, which we never looked up the statistic, but I'm going to assume it's pretty low. I don't think it's like a 50-50 thing with incest.
It's probably really high in West Virginia.
Yeah. I mean, territorially, sure. West Virginia is probably double the rest of the country, but even that's 1.5% probably. So here's the thing. Before we get into the debate, this is still a state's right to issue, right? So the federal government comes out and says, hey, you can't have abortions. All 3 trimesters, Roe v. Wade overturned. No. The beauty of the United States is that if you don't like the state you're living in, that's why we're the United States, is you can move to the state next door. If you don't like California because they're too liberal, you can move to Texas. If you don't like Texas because they're too conservative, you can move to California. You can move anywhere you want. That's the beauty of the United States. So if your state gets this federal thing and it says, hey, abortions aren't legal, you reserve the fucking right to go, they are here. You can abort your baby in California. Tom, does this need to be front page headline in every fucking newspaper across America?
No.
No, it doesn't fucking matter. The federal government this entire time has really stayed out of it. They've given you a guideline and they've allowed your state, which you vote in, to make your own fucking policies. If you don't like where you're living, move. That's it. It's simple.
Yeah, I mean, I think their point is that they're afraid of it becoming, because you could like 90% of the things in California, but or we'll say Texas, right? Because Texas is probably more likely to obeyed by the federal guidelines on this.
Sure.
You might like 90% of what that state represents, but this one thing's, and this is the one thing you don't like, but then you're put into a situation where you're already pregnant. You getting up and moving within 3 months so you can have an abortion is a little, like Phobic saying, not that simple. You know what I mean? So I get what your point is.
What Phobic's saying, it's not that simple to move. And what you're saying is when you're already pregnant. What I'm saying is these laws are in place. If you don't like the laws, if you don't like the governing of the place that you're in, get out of the place that you're in and live under a set of laws that you agree with.
Yeah, but I totally understand what you're saying. I don't want you to think that I don't, because I kind of agree with you. But at the same time, to be on the other side of that, no state that you could possibly live in, you're going to like all their laws. There's no way. There's no way.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But you have options. You have choices. You're an American. This is the land of the free. This is why this country was designed this way. This is why I, at no point, if the company came to me tomorrow, the company that we work for, that we both are employed by, came to me tomorrow and said, $2 million a year, we're opening up a joint over in California. We want you to be the emperor, the exalted ruler. Go bang it out. I'd go, there's not enough money in the fucking universe to make me live in California. I will never do it. I don't visit California. I wouldn't have a layover in California. I have no interest in going to California.
I do. I have a lot of interest in going to California. And like Phobic said, those laws, yeah, so you can move to a place, right, that you agree with most of their laws, we'll say 90%. And then, boom, you move there, and then, bam, they start changing fucking laws, because laws can change.
That's true. And you know what doesn't change? Your options. Your choices never change.
I understand, man. I'm not disagreeing with you. And
but we're talking about laws that are in place. And I get that we're changing laws right now. But if the laws change, then you make the choice. It's kind of like the speed limits in Texas are higher. So if I get pulled over for going faster than I'm allowed in Connecticut, but Texas, it would have been legal, I can't then go, it's so hard to move to Texas now that I've already broken the law. Well, yeah, no. If you want to drive fast, move to fucking Texas. I live by the laws of the state that I live in. If I'm not comfortable with that, I will go somewhere else. This is a beautiful country for that reason. And I get that it's not as easy as I'm making it sound. I'm not saying you have this very, listen, in a marriage, it's an unwritten law, that you can't cheat. I'm not saying that that's an easy thing to live by, but it's something that you chose to get married. You knew what the deal was. We're all governed under the same laws. I don't shit on the sidewalk because there's a law in place for that. That doesn't mean that I don't sometimes have to shit when I'm walking down the street, but I can't do it.
Fucking idiot.
It's facts, man. I would love to just be able to drop trout and shit wherever the fuck I wanted. I've shit in the ocean. I'm not sure that there's a law against that.
Shitting in the ocean? Probably not.
Yeah. Whales do it all the time.
I agree with you. I'm not saying there's so much more to this though. Like the abortion thing, there's so much more to it. Like I don't like the fact that the father really has no say in it. It's both their kids. Yeah, one has to carry it. I get that. But
we've beaten that one to death, and I think we came to, if a man and a woman decide to have intercourse, they know the potential outcome. If beyond that point, a woman says, I want to keep the baby, and the man says, I don't, the woman should be 100% on the hook, no funding from the dad. And vice versa. If the dad says, I want to keep the baby, and the mom says, I don't, she should be forced to keep that baby and never pay a penny for the baby. I think that's where we landed. I'm not positive. But it shouldn't, I get the my body, my choice thing. I do. But your body made the choice before this decision. Right? Yeah. I'm not talking about rape babies. I'm not talking about incest babies. I'm not talking about the 1% that everybody wants to harp on. I'm talking about you being a gutter slut, going to the bar, making bad decisions, the guy too, being the type of guy who's going to be promiscuous and chance STDs and chance getting women pregnant. If you guys already made that decision, because that's the decision, the abortion is not the decision. The abortion or the baby is the effect of your decision. It's a cause and effect situation, right? You've already made the decision. I know the laws of the land that I live in. I had sex with this person. I know what happens when I have sex with this person. I know that even if she says she's on birth control, I can't know that that's possibly true. I could watch her take a pill. It could be a fucking sugar pill. I have no clue. You know the effect of your behavior, the potential that it holds. So once you behave that way, you don't get to go, no, you know what? I'd like to change my decision. Well, perfect. Then I'd like to slow down before the cop pulls me over. What the fuck, man?
Listen. I don't disagree with you.
For the record, I'm not saying that I'm pro-life. I want to be very clear about that. I'm not saying that no baby should be aborted. I'm saying you should follow the fucking law of where you live.
Yeah, I agree with you. Listen, I'm 100% with you. This shouldn't be headline news. Like nothing's even happened. Like they're freaking out because somebody wrote something with a plan to overturn it. Nothing has happened. They haven't overturned it. We'll worry about it when it happens. That's when we should be worried about it.
You know what I do think should happen?
We should overthrow the government.
I think we should invest some serious resources in finding out who leaked that information, and we should sentence them to 18 years. And you know why? Because that's the sentence you get when you have to keep that baby. 18 years, motherfucker. You leaked that information about babies. Now you're going to serve 18 years. That's what's going on right now.
They leaked it. I guarantee you this. They leaked it as a political game because it was right either before. There was a bunch of elections last week and it came out right around the same time. So they probably leaked it to try and get more liberal people into cabinets and stuff like that, like into
no doubt
seats. And we have a big political push this November for what the hell are you looking at?
There's a wet spot on my basement floor, and I don't know what it came from.
Well, your whole basement leaked, so there you go.
That is inaccurate.
But back to what I was saying. So it's all a political game. The whole thing is a fucking political game. That's why we need to overthrow the government.
Wholeheartedly against overthrowing the government. Reform, definitely. We need some fucking reform.
That's what I mean by overthrowing the government. We need to take back what is ours. And I'm not talking elect new, like we need to literally, people of America stand up, say, no, you're no longer in office. I don't give a fuck. And we need to start over with people who are wholeheartedly, like not these people that are taking tons of money from private interest groups or fucking, whatever the fuck they're called. What are they called, Pat? What's the word?
I was reading what Phobic Squirrel said. Oh, I was trying. I couldn't see it, but I missed what you were saying.
He wrote that a long time ago. We already talked about what he wrote. What are they called when people invest into political campaigns? They're fuck. You get it. PACs. There you go. You know, these PACs and shit like that. Yeah, like no politician.
Sure I would guess that it was a liberal that leaked the
100%.
And well, I mean, who knows? Maybe it was a fucking. Maybe I have to assume it was liberal. I don't know why a conservative would have done it, but a liberal, just like you're saying, for a political momentum swing. Either way, it's inappropriate. Because, like you're saying, this plan is in its infancy, and what this liberal is trying to do is terminate the plan in its infancy, which is, as far as I can tell, against what they believe is right. You know what I mean? They should really let this plan come to fruition and then live with the consequences forever. No. It shouldn't have leaked. This is stuff that it's above our pay grade for a reason. These people are entrusted by a government that we elected, and we should allow them to do their job. When we intervene, it causes what's going on right now.
Well, there's so much fucked up with our world, dude. I wish
the
I
fact
was alive.
Is we could elect a different government next term, and they can undo everything that's being done. Or we can put a different Supreme Court member on, and they could undo what's being done. Like, it can always change. But
well, no, like that's the thing with
place.
But that's the thing with Supreme Court justices. You can't just put somebody else on. They're on for life or until they retire when they get elected.
I'm sure one of them's going to die soon. They're all old as shit, except
No.
that smoking hot Amy Barron Cohen.
Actually, most of them are pretty young at this point. That's why it was a big thing when Trump was in office, because he elected two right wingers. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it was such a big thing. But maybe even that's an issue. You know what I mean? Like, you start looking at that, like, you know, you get these people as Supreme Court justices, they're in it for fucking 40 years. They don't change with the times or anything like that. In 1973.
Because that's another thing that, again, could be reformed.
In 1973. Yeah, but here's the thing, dude. When people are making tons of money, they're not like that. Everybody's getting paid off. You know what I mean? They're getting pushes from this guy for that, and they're making millions. Like, you should not be a multi-fucking millionaire and be able to be in the government. You know what I mean? Like that
Or
in itself.
public service in general.
Yeah. If you're a multi-millionaire, it's because it should be because you're a fucking business owner. You know what I mean?
Or a goddamn hero. The military, the firemen, the police.
Yeah.
You know, those people, if you want to give them much teachers, if you want to give them much higher pay, and if you want to pull that directly from government funding, I'm all for it. And by government funding, I mean the paychecks of the government.
But I mean, you know, the president of the United States only makes $400,000 a year. That to me is pretty modest for the job that he has. But at the same time, every single one of them is a multi-fucking millionaire. And how did they become millionaires? You know what I mean? It's making deals with that one, making deals with this one. I'm going to push this because this guy's giving me this kickback. You know, it's all a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Did you notice that this is a different cat on the podcast today?
I don't.
I know all you can see is this asshole.
Yeah, like I don't. Why? Get it off the table.
That's Littlefoot.
Yeah,
Kiki's always the one on the show.
He looks pretty fucking fat.
They eat a lot of human food, Tom.
Actually, looks like
this house.
Actually, looks like he's fucking pregnant.
Well, he is a she, but Miko, the only boy, is not able to get the girls pregnant. So I don't think that's the case.
But the girls aren't fixed.
I assume they are. They don't go crazy at any point.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, man, you really thought I was gonna go crazy, huh? You thought my head was gonna pop off my shoulders for this one?
Well, I thought that this would somehow, and I was trying to avoid it. I thought this was going to end up in a pro-life, pro-choice debate, which we've done it to death. There's no point.
Yeah, like I said, my only decision on this is, like I said, like that's my biggest thing with pro-life, pro-choice, fucking whether you can have an abortion, whether you cannot have abortion. My only issue with any of it is that the man in this situation has zero. At the end of the day, he really has zero input. Now, listen, if you're with a decent partner, man or woman, it should always be like, and if that's even an option to you, it should always be discussed, I would assume. But like you said, these one night stands, the guy has no choice, and neither does the woman. Or the decision's 100% based with the woman, and that's not fair to the man because, like you said, they made the decision beforehand. So that's my only issue with this.
If a conservative man impregnates a liberal woman, you've got yourself quite the fucking conundrum.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, and I hate to say this too, whatever they do with this law affects me fucking zero. You know what I mean? It affects me fucking zero.
I mean, that does bring me to a bigger point, and I've made this point before too. There is a part of me, whether I'm pro-life or pro-choice or right down the middle, if you don't want to have a baby, I gotta tell you, I don't want you to have a baby. Now, there are firehouses, there are adoptions, there are all kinds of options. But if you aren't ready to be a parent, please don't have fucking kids.
That's not true, Pat. When I was 18 years old, dude, I knocked up Colin's mother. I did not want to have a kid. And like, it really...
Did you talk to Colin's mother about schmushmortions?
Yes, we had.
And she was like, "Fuck that."
No, I never told this story. I'm sure
I think you did. She agreed to it, and then you found out when you got to her house that it had a name.
Yeah, I was at her house, The morning we found out, or she found out and then told me, and then we went back to her parents' house, and her and I had a conversation. And when I left for work that day, we were going to have a Swiss abortion. And again, I was, before that moment in my life, I was 100% against abortion, right? Because like I said, it's one of those things that you get put into a situation, you don't really know how you feel about it until you're in that situation. So I was put in that situation. That's where, because I was like, this is gonna ruin my entire fucking life. And I'm 18 years old. You know what I mean? I'm way too fucking young to be having a kid. I left that day, went to work, came back to her parents' house, and her mother, and her sister were all in their, you know, I guess you would call it, it was like a second living room or whatever, family room, picking out baby names for a baby that was fucking barely even conceived. So that, and I had no choice in it. You know what I mean? And looking back on it, yeah, I fucking stepped up. I'm a man. I made a fucking decision. I made a mistake, and I fucking owned up to it. And now it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So
Well, in her defense, I mean, she has given you all the tools you needed by always being there, staying clean, and supporting you every step of the way. She's been very loving. She's a great communicator, and her family is not difficult to deal with. So all that's great.
Yeah. Haha.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but like, so to say, like, if you don't want to have a kid, don't have a kid. No, I think it in the right person, it's going to make them a better person. And if they're a true man or a true woman, they're going to step up and take care of the responsibility. The problem is, in the society that we have, a lot of people don't think that way. They go on this fucking pity party of, whoa, me, I made a mistake and now I got to deal with it, instead of just dealing with the problem head on and fucking making something of yourself. 13 years ago, man.
Let me ask you, when you conceived Colin, was she on the pill? Were you using condoms? Were you pulling out? Was there any type
she was supposed to be on birth control. And so this is what happened. I came.
Oh, just catch with the okie doke.
Yeah. So I came home for Christmas break from school. I was in Connecticut. I was here for a week. I went back, and I'm 18 years old. We were fucking like rabbits. And after like a week or so, I realized that I hadn't seen her taking her fucking birth control. So I said something to her, and she goes, "Oh, I lost it." And I said, "Bitch, I've been dumping nuts in you left and right, and you lost it." So we went to her mother's house, and I found it sitting there in the dining room table. But by that point, it was too late. Like, it was a weekend. She was probably already pregnant.
Damage. Yeah.
So that's how that played out. Which, I learned my lesson, man. Like, I've been with, and like, I'm at a point in my life, like, I don't want any more kids. My wife knew that when we got married. Hey,
you were wrong the first time. Maybe you'd be wrong a second time. Pop one in her.
No, I'm good. She knew that when we got married, just based off the shit that I've gone through with Colin's mother and all. Like, I live in reality, right? What if shit don't work out with Erica, which I don't see happening, but shit happens. You know what I mean? What if it doesn't work out? I don't want to put another kid through what Colin's been through. And I'm selfish as fuck. I really am. At the end of the day, I'm selfish. Like, I've worked my ass off. I want to enjoy my life doing the things that I want to do. And I don't want a kid fucking that up for me. And with all that being said, I'm so scarred by that story about the birth control. Is like, I've been on Erica's ass about taking birth control. And I trust Erica with everything. Like, I have no reason not to trust her, but at the end of the day, you're not going to have I'm not going to get okey-doke twice. You know what I mean?
Fool me once.
Yeah. And Erica's a way better person than the other one was. But at the same time, like, that's
realistically, if you fired one into Erica and she was 3 months pregnant, you died, that baby would still be fine because Erica would be such a good parent.
Yeah, like that doesn't. That's not even what I'm worried about. And to be honest with you, if Erica told me that she was pregnant, yeah, I would be fucking devastated, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't be the same type of devastation that I had before. It would be 100% selfish devastation, not so much like, how the fuck am I going to do this? I don't even know you. You know what I mean? I'm married at this point. Like, when I got Colin's mother's pregnant, we were only dating for 3 months.
You were like, wait, hold on. Is the baby going to have my last name? And what is your last name?
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, but it happens. I don't know how the fuck we get off on that tirade about all that, but, yeah, like I said, this affects me zero. I could give a fuck less what happens with it. The only way that this really kind of affects me is how it would play a role in my son's life as we get older, or as he gets older.
He's fucked anyways. Don't worry about it.
But at the same time, we live in a very liberal state, so if it becomes a 100% state issue, we will still have it. I think in Connecticut, you can only have them through the second trimester.
The only thing that's going to save your son from inevitable doom, and every son out there, and I mean that wholeheartedly, every last one of you male motherfuckers, is right now, history is being written. Johnny Depp will be posterized and immortalized by taking one small step for Johnny Depp and one giant leap for men in this country if he can make her absolutely out to be the monstrosity that she is. And that we can go, okay, when a man is accused, that doesn't mean anything until he's convicted, until she can fucking prove it. And Johnny Depp right now is our Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's our only hope. Well, so we're riding this fucker out. Well, and I hope that works out.
Well, the criminal charges against Johnny Depp were already. He already beat those charges. They couldn't prove it.
I understand that.
Yeah,
but it means nothing. It means nothing. Criminal charges get beat all the time. He still got canceled. He still lost all that work. He still suffers. That's why this lawsuit is in place. This lawsuit is him attacking back. He played defense. He won. He defended himself intelligently. That means nothing because he still lost everything. So now, whammo bammo, he's going after her, and he has to win this for the next generation to say, you can't end me with words. You can't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Bitch.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's such a hard topic, Pat.
I say we bring back 90s hip hop. Start calling women bitches.
No, that's the problem. That's the fucking problem.
Wait, which part was the problem?
Calling women bitches. The problem is
the pendulum swinging?
Yeah. Like that's how all this shit started, Pat, is that for hundreds of years we did all those things to women and had no repercussions. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be a very even playing field with the two. And unfortunately, they tried to make it even, and the fucking pendulum swung all the way the other way. We need to this is going to help get it back to even, where yes, you're innocent until proven guilty and you can't be canceled. That's exactly where it should be.
I couldn't be happier with what you just said. I wholeheartedly agree.
Jesus. Why are you calling women bitches, yo? What the fuck's the matter with you?
Man.
What, do you think I felt any differently, Pat?
No, I'm happy with how you feel.
Pat, I feel like you have a very misrepresentation of me. Misrepresentation of me. Like, you think a certain way about me, like I'm this hardcore, like, fuck people. Listen, I'm all about being fair, dude. Love thy neighbor, dude. That's why I started the Love Thy Neighbor on the show, because we all need to love our neighbors. We all need to be treated equally and fair and level. We shouldn't sit with
I wrote Love Thy Neighbor in my Mother's Day card today.
For real, like, I'm very complex, right? Like, I think we should all be even. But at the same time, I don't think we should feel bad for people. Like, in this day and age, we are more even now than we've ever been, if not a little tipped, to helping more so the less fortunate. It
depends on the topic, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah, but it's all about what you do with the opportunities given to you. You know what I mean?
Yes. For the most part, we're at a better place than we've ever been. We're not there yet, but we're at a better place. But as a result of that, the kid who has a burn on his forehead got $500,000, and the woman who lost both of her arms got $250,000.
Again,
and that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I think, well, in situations are situational. So again, I think we know why one's a child, one's a grown woman. And I bet
One
you,
had bully in the title.
yeah, one had bully in the title, one had boy, one had woman. Like all those things play a part in it, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people had the point of view with me that said, well, this boy still has a chance to live a life. This lady's fucked. She has no arms. So why would I give my money to her? All right, Pat. I think this was a good show. I think we had a good little conversation there. I like it a little more when we have different views, but this one I think we're pretty much on the same page with.
I could have played the heavy on this. I could have rolled with the bitches thing, but you said exactly what I really would have said, so I let it lie.
That would have got me. Like if you kept saying bitches or hoes or something like that, that would have gotten me over the fucking top. That would have gotten me my head to spin right off my shoulders.
Next episode, women aren't real people.
Pat, sometimes I believe you think that just because of things you said to me personally. But yeah, so we'll be back on Wednesday. We'll see what happens between now and then. Pat, you watching any?
What are we doing it again?
Wednesday, like every other week. Wednesday.
I thought you changed it just then.
No, we'll see you guys Wednesday. Have you been watching any sports or anything? Any basketball?
No.
I'm pretty sure
I
I'm
have
all
not.
done.
I don't remember the last thing I watched on the television. I did finish The Girl from Plainville.
Oh, what the fuck that is. I'm probably going to watch some, since my foot's bothering me. We'll see how it goes. I got some work shit I got to get out done after the show, but I might go up and do something in the bathroom or just might go sit on my couch and watch Ozark the rest of the day. We'll see how that goes.
You could easily watch The Girl from Plainville with Erica and with Colin, and you would all be entertained. You would all be a little bit blown away by the story itself. It's a true story about the girl who was convicted of involuntary manslaughter for texting her boyfriend that he should kill himself. And on its face, that sounds crazy, but you got to see the story. It's pretty incredible how it works out.
That doesn't sound crazy. That sounds like she should be fucking hung.
To me, that sounds like she said words and we shouldn't blame her. But knowing the whole story, she got off light.
I got to tell you this, Pat. If you, again, this comes to parenting, you should teach your kids never to say that. Because at the end of the day, I understand
there's how many people I've texted, go kill yourself or die lonely in my life. We're talking hundreds.
Yeah, but are you, situations are situational, right? You say that to me.
That's what I'm saying, though. You got to know the whole story because when I do it, I do it with a big smile and a bunch of love in my heart.
I understand that, and just I don't know. I don't have to know the story to know that you would never say that to Liz, right? Go kill yourself. Come on, let's be real. You would, even in like almost a joking, like again, situations are situational. But if somebody ends up dead, right? Clearly there was some toxicity in that relationship. And she said, go kill yourself, or you should go kill yourself. Go kill yourself, and you should go kill yourself. Right there. Go kill yourself is a joke. You should go kill yourself.
I don't want to give
is not a joke.
Spoiler. I'm going to give a semi-spoiler about this story. She didn't tell him to kill himself. What she did was she said, you had a plan, and I'm disappointed in you for not seeing it through. You'll be a failure if you don't go kill yourself. That's really, like, that's not the whole story, but she really was like, you fucking promised me. And he was like, oh, better fucking follow through then.
Yeah, see, she's a horrible piece of shit. Now,
she's the monster, dude.
No, you would never say that to another person. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I agree with you with it's just words, right? But at the same time, words matter depending on the situation.
Right. Now, if I saw a stranger in the middle of the street and for whatever reason we had a verbal altercation, I said, you know what, go fucking kill yourself. And that person did it. I don't feel like I should be on the hook for that. But if I knew the things that this chick knew about this guy, like there were multiple attempts that failed before, or like that he had severe mental health issues, then my having that knowledge gives me some kind of, I don't want to say responsibility. I have responsibility to that person, to all people, to not fucking take advantage of that weakness. I don't mean to call mental health a weakness in that kid, but it was in this situation. He had a weakness. She exploited it.
Well, let's be real though. Mental health is a weakness. Like, and not that it makes you a weak person, but it's an issue that people would use as a weakness for you to manipulate.
Yeah.
Now, but you just saying that, right? In the whole, like, you have a verbal altercation with somebody. You don't know that person's background, and you saying you should go kill yourself might be the fucking tipping point that makes them go kill themselves. So
I agree with that. I still don't feel like I should be responsible for it.
100%. Maybe you should
fucking know.
Yeah, but you know what? You shouldn't fucking say it.
Nah, well, then, maybe don't get into a virtual altercation with a fucking wordsmith. You know what I'm saying?
A wordsmith? You think go kill yourself? You think go kill yourself is justifiable as a wordsmith?
It depends on how it's delivered.
You're a fucking idiot. How about we just don't say those things?
I don't like the idea of censoring my speech, Tom.
I'm with you. Like, I don't like the fact that I can't say the F word.
How many times have I said eat shit and die? To you, specifically.
And by that, I don't mean fuck as the F word. I like using the other one.
The bundle of sticks.
Yes, the bundle of sticks. But at the same time, I shouldn't say that. You know what I mean? I've said it on the show and fucking immediately like, oh, shouldn't have said that. Like, somebody might get their feelings hurt by that. And I'm not saying...
You also said it off the show in one of the funniest moments in show history. Unfortunately, it never made the cutting room floor.
That was before we were live. If I said it live, it just stays in. Fuck it. Who cares?
Oh my God.
It's already out
one
there.
Of the best moments of my life.
I think it was in the same context as the time I actually said it live on the show. Like, same, I was calling you a effing F word.
Yes, you were.
Anyway, you got to get out of here. We got to end the show.
I also have to unleash a jihad on my toilet.
The real reason why I asked you if you've been betting Pat is because I lost. I think I'm all done until real football starts.
If it helps, Tony bet Canelo last night.
I don't know who Canelo is, but
Canelo was a guy who was never going to lose a boxing match last night. He went up 2 weight classes to gain yet another world championship, and then he lost.
Well, who's a dumbass?
Yep. Tommy,
right.
Number Niners, I say good day.